Hey all my friends out there, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Dee, the Messy Perfectionist, and on this channel I am talking all things related to my health journey and health challenges and my experience through those things, including but not limited to weight loss surgery, PCOS, perimenopause, fertility, not sure if I said that or not yet, and more. Sorry if I'm getting a little confused. I did recently, and I say recently, within the last 6 months or so, started a new channel, and that's my artsy crafty channel. And so my main focus has been there more than the vlog, which has been a joy for me. If you're interested to see what my artsy crafty journal is about, it is listed on the main page of, the YouTube channel page for my channel. Let's see how many times I can say channel. But anyway, it's there, or it's in the description below. It's just, it's called Colorful Crafting with Dee, the Messy Perfectionist. Not sure exactly what it shows because, I've changed it a couple times, but we'll get there eventually. Just like the vlogging of this film, when the setup has taken me more time than it probably will record to give you this update. In today's video, I'm going to share with you guys a little bit about what's next on the horizon for me in regards to my weight loss or weight management phase of my life now that I am 2 years post-op VSG or vertical sleeve gastrectomy, and also a little bit about women's health and my journey through perimenopause. I know I've mentioned that in other past videos, but it's been a big challenge for me, and also living with this chronic fatigue, which has been such a struggle for so many years now. It's really, really hard. And also a reason why I don't vlog more often, if I'm being truthful and honest with all of you. So if you want to hear a little bit more about what's been going on in my life, stay tuned and we'll be right back. I know it's been a minute since I've shared a vlog, and there's a few reasons for that. I know I mentioned this in my last update video, which I know they've become more and more sparse in regards to weight loss, surgery, and my journey through that, as this channel has been the focus of that. I am not a vlog person per se. I don't have a setup prepared for that. So every time I want to record, I feel like I have to set up and I have to redo everything. And I'm sure there's a better way to do that, but because I'm limited on space within my house and the filming is in my craft area, which the craft area is in the bedroom, so it's multi-purpose, I don't want to set up like things everywhere. I want it to be as compact as possible. It's a challenge to feel like I have to look somewhat presentable. I know it doesn't look like I did much today, which I didn't. My hair is, fresh washed, and that was it. You guys are lucky you got a little bit of makeup, so you don't see like all of the glory of my rosacea and everything else that's going on under my skin. So that's been a big part of it. The other thing is I wanted to talk a little bit about is my chronic fatigue has been consistent over the last several years. It is something I have talked about with several different practitioners, and I've tried doing some research on my own, and it's been a real challenge. If you guys know me, you know that I try to do everything that I can naturally to live my best life in regards to balancing my hormones, dealing with a lifelong of issues of pain from a jaws of life car accident, that I survived and went through, but it took its major toll on my body physically, resulting in a lot of pain and multiple surgeries. And then just the chronic fatigue from my adrenals, just suffering from that is the best guess from some physicians. And it's just been a challenge. And I don't think a lot of people understand a lot about it. It's not just like I get sleepy. It's that around noon or so, my brain and body just start to shut down, where I feel like I just cannot function anymore. And the only thing that is going to relieve that is sleep. And it's got to be at least like an hour nap. I usually feel better after an hour nap. alive, I guess, if I can get 2 hours of sleep consistent in a row. Doesn't matter if I go to bed early. Doesn't matter if I get 8 hours of sleep, which I know I don't get consistently. And that's also because I've been going through perimenopause, the other subject to talk about. So the chronic fatigue has been a big issue for me. You guys know I've had my thyroid challenges as I've gone through on this journey through my post-surgery. And that was something that was completely unexpected. And if you recall, basically all of my weight loss progress post-surgery stopped pretty much about 6 or 7 months in. Don't quote me. Haven't looked back on my videos, so I'm sorry if I'm misspeaking, mismemory. You guys know as you get older, just time just flies. Like, oh, that was like last week. No, honey, that was like 5 years ago. Oh, okay. So I don't know. When you're a kid, 2 months is forever. When you're like in your 40s, like I am, 2 months is like yesterday. So I don't know what's up with the whole time continuum thing, but yeah, it's definitely weird. Let's just say that. But I have had challenges with my thyroid. My weight loss stopped. They took me off my thyroid because according to my TSH numbers, I swung from what I've had for basically my whole life, which was Hashimoto's, autoimmune disease. And then I swung to what the numbers were showing were hyperthyroid, which is non-existent TSH. I had no hyperthyroid, and it's weird because my TSH was like 0.1, which indicates hyperthyroid or Graves' disease, so which is basically Hashimoto's, but the opposite spectrum. So think of type 1 and type 2 diabetes. In thyroid disease, autoimmune disease, you've got Hashimoto's and Graves' disease. I did a video on my situation regarding that a little whiles back, and I'll try to remember to pop a name card up above if you're interested, but so basically, I got no solution from anybody with that. I struggled. I told my practitioners I was not having any hyperthyroid symptoms. I, secretly was praying a little bit for some hyperthyroid symptoms at that point because I was still dealing with the extreme fatigue. All my weight loss stopped, and all of those things that kind of come with hypothyroid disease and Hashimoto's. So I had no help with that. I've had PCOS my whole life. I didn't get diagnosed until much later in my life. And maybe I can do just a video on my PCOS journey and my fertility issues. Let me know if that sounds interesting to you, and I'll try to do a recording for that or those. But it was confirmed that I am, in fact, in perimenopause. And I really kind of struggled with that because of course, everybody I talked to was like, oh my God, you're so young. And I'm not that young. I'm in my 40s. But it was described to me that because I am someone that has had hormone issues my whole life, the first time I ended up in the hospital doubled over in pain and couldn't walk was when I was 12, and no one knew what was wrong with me. And then, like I said, it wasn't until years later I was diagnosed. What was happening to me in retrospect was I was having an ovarian cyst rupture, which if you've ever had an ovarian cyst rupture, it's extremely painful. And I couldn't even stand up straight. You can't even stand up straight when it's happening. You can barely walk or move. The pain is excruciating. And you just feel like you're being ripped apart from the inside, from the bottom half of your body apart. So I went from that, which I still deal with cystic ovaries, but they're not as bad as they were in my youth. And now I'm in perimenopause. And so I've been dealing with all of the fun of that situation, everything from the hot flashes to night sweats, which let me tell you, if you're not there yet, kids, it's hard to explain. I never really understood when people were like, oh yeah, night sweats. No, it's as if you jumped into a pool of freezing cold water, yet you wake up in your bed in your pajamas and you're just soaked. And then if your room is cold, which I think I might have mentioned that my husband keeps the house like very cold because he's always running hot. So I'm always in sweaters or whatever, no matter it's 120 degrees outside, it's freezing in my house. And so I wake up in this, pool of sweat and I'm just freezing cold, then shivering, can't get back to sleep. So I'm sure that aids in contribution to not helping with my chronic fatigue issues when you're not getting consistent sleep and you're having night sweats regularly. What else? Then comes the lovely mood swings where I just don't feel myself at all. The anger is quick to trigger things that, wouldn't normally piss me off, and then you end up in tears because you feel like you're going crazy. And I learned something really interesting recently, which was physicians, their like extent of hours of training to deal with menopausal women's health is like 4 hours. Yeah, probably close to on par with their education in regards to nutrition, which I believe is 10 hours. Don't quote me again, but it's somewhere around there. Either way, think about the education term, college education for someone to go to school to become a doctor, and you've got 4 hours for women's health menopausal care, and you've got like 10 hours for nutrition. And these are the people that we are going to help us with these issues. No wonder it's such a struggle for us. No wonder, right? So I kind of gave up for a while. I mean, I continued with doing what I could. And what I mean by that is I have been very consistent and continue to go to the gym regularly. You guys know I had my shoulder surgery and all these other challenges. But basically, as soon as I could get back to the gym post surgeries, I'm always right back there, and I am building my strength and endurance and all of those things. I went through a long period of physical therapy, which really, in retrospect, unfortunately, because of our medical system, was extremely costly. Did not know it was going to cost me like $1,000 for someone to spend 15 minutes with me and tell me to do some exercises that I could have looked up on YouTube and did by myself, is the truth of it. I'm not saying there isn't a place for physical therapy and physical therapists. There absolutely is. But again, it's the way our healthcare system is rigged. It's sad. And we're on a good health plan. So I feel bad for people that aren't on a good health plan. Again, whole other discussion. This is a ranting video, apparently, a big rant trying to get you guys all caught up. So I have continually gone to the gym and done my strength training, my yoga, all of those things. And I know that I have gotten stronger. I'm feeling better in that front. So I just turned 44. I know myself at 44 years old now is healthier than when I was 24 years old. And that's saying something. At 24 years old, I was much heavier. I had chronic pain. I was not doing physical activities like I should be. I was in toxic relationships. So I was not mentally or physically well in a lot of ways at 24 years old. So at 44 years old, I am in a healthy relationship. I am much more physically fit. I have a much better relationship with food, all of those things. So I'm very thankful to be where I'm at, but I still get frustrated and feel like, why do I have to work so hard? We all know those people that are like doing nothing and they're seemingly so healthy, and it can be frustrating, right? It can be frustrating for us to see that. It is what it is. We're each individuals and we each have our own challenges and health challenges, and I know I've said this before, but even sometimes, and I'm saying this to remind myself, you guys, even when we feel like, oh my God, this person, look at them, they're just running to Starbucks every day and they go to McDonald's every day for lunch and they're 120 pounds. Oh my God. And here I am with my salad and eating 500 or 800 calories a day, and it's such a struggle to lose weight. And I'm just saying that as the extreme. Okay. So, it's frustrating, but we don't know. That person may have some other issues that we don't know or don't see, and quite frankly, it's none of our business. We don't have control over other people's decisions and their lives. We only have control over what we do, right? So that's where I'm at in my journey. trying to focus once again on myself and what I can do next. So I have reached out to my general practitioner and asked about the chronic fatigue issue. I said, hey, I know I've complained about this for like the last decade. Is there any treatment for this chronic fatigue? And this is what I'm doing. Didn't get a validation on what there is to do other than, they send you to rheumatology just to rule out that you don't have like another autoimmune disease like rheumatoid arthritis, which thank God the last check that I had, which was a few years ago, I did not show indicative of having rheumatoid arthritis. And I'd like to skip that one, please. I have enough going on board. So let's just keep that one off the plate, can we? But I have, let me see, where are we at? Lost my train of thought. Derailed. So I came across this ad for MIDI, M-I-D-I. It is a telehealth physician that you can reach out to in regards to women's health for midlife, focusing on midlife. So MIDI. And I was like, you know what? I saw that they take insurance. It's all FDA approved programs, all of those kind of things. And they also deal with, they deal with hormone therapy. They'll also deal with weight management if that's an issue of concern. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot and I'm going to try it. And I'm going to tell you what, guys, if you are a woman that is having midlife hormone issues and menopausal symptoms, and you are not getting any relief from those symptoms despite having discussions with your regular doctor or any of those things, I encourage you to check them out. This is not a sponsorship in any ways. I got a tiny little channel at this point of recording. I don't have such things. This is just me sharing this with you because I know how awful and frustrating it is. And if I can help one other woman out there dealing with this, I will be happy. My soul will feel lifted because I know the struggle, and the struggle is real. I really understand. So I reached out. I set up an appointment. It was very simple. It was great. You talk with someone on video chat. So, you set up your appointment. You have your appointment. It's an hour or so long. You talk with someone. My practitioner was extremely understanding. It was just a very good conversation. They believe you. They listen to you. I got sent for blood work. And I started on hormone therapy. You have a few options for hormone therapy. I started on estradiol patch and restarted my progesterone consistently. And I can tell you it's been less than a month, about a month, that I've been doing the patch, the estradiol patch. And even though it's the lowest dose and I'm still having some symptoms, my night sweats have stopped by like 50 to 75%, which, hallelujah, that shows that I'm on the right path, right, in that area. So they start you low on all those things. They have you run labs, check all that good stuff out, make sure you know what your vitamin D level is, what your cholesterol is, your blood sugar, all those good things. So I love that. As someone who has worked in the medical field for a while, I worked in a naturopathic office. I've worked with my own practitioners, herbalists, naturopaths, regular physicians that you see that insurance is covered, all of those things. And I took my own holistic nutritionist course and became certified because I had such a passion for this, helping, people, helping myself, all of those things. And so I know what to look for. And it was really great to finally find something that I knew, hey, they're running the right labs. They're listening to the right things. This is good. So I'm glad. Haven't gotten a bill from them yet. I'm not sure if I will owe them a copay, but you just pay a copay from what I understand. If you do owe anything, you're going to pay what your copay is. So that's great. I had a second appointment with a dietitian, and she was fantastic. She went through all of my information from my previous visit, and I wanted to discuss with her the GLP-1 medications, which I'm sure you guys have heard of by now because it's been such a trend. But I had heard about the GLP-1 medications before I had my weight loss surgery 2 years ago. At that time, my regular practitioner had discussed it with me, and all she did was put in a prescription for me, and the pharmacy said I owed them $1,000, so I couldn't pick up the medication. And that was kind of the end of it. And I was like, all right, I guess we're going to go the route of weight loss surgery then. But the thing with GLP-1 medications is they were originally made for type 2 diabetic people. And what they realized, it was really helping with people with obesity issues, and particularly people like me with lifelong obesity issues, people with that are pre-diabetic, that have PCOS, which can fall in line with pre-diabetes, all of those things. So it addresses a hormone issue and your sugar balance and those kind of things. And I wanted to know a little bit more about it. So after a long discussion, she said, I am definitely the person that, fits the criteria for someone who needs this. They're really starting to change their mind and thinking on what obesity is, as more of a disease rather than this lifestyle thing that we have been trained to believe, as if we're just lazy sloths doing nothing. There's people like me who've literally never been skinny. I've never been thin. I don't know what that's like. I struggled my whole life. My first low-calorie diet I was put on, I was like 12 years old. I have gone through the eating disorders. I have, climbed up the bottom to learn how to be physically fit and fix my relationship with food. I'm doing all of the things. That's my point. I've done all the things. I've gone as far as having weight loss surgery. And I lost, I can't remember now, you guys. You'll have to watch my last video. I haven't gained any weight. I've basically stayed around the same weight, give, 3 to 5 pounds. I was disappointed in myself a little bit because I felt like I didn't lose as much weight as a lot of other people did, even though I knew in my heart I probably wouldn't. And that was just because I knew I wasn't eating 3,000 calories a day. I knew that I was already eating a low-calorie diet on most days. And the fact for me was that when I'm eating more than 800 calories a day, 900 calories a day, I can maintain my weight, but I'm not going to lose weight. And I also focused on my physical fitness. The reason, I remember at least this much from 2 years ago filming, was the reason that I started this journey with having weight loss surgery was because I wanted to feel better. I wanted to make sure that I could do the best to my ability to be there for my daughter as an active mom as much as I could. And I have a lot of physical structural issues that are, beyond my fault. And I knew losing a good amount of weight would help my body not feel as much pain. So when you're strength training, you're weight training, you're exercising, and after you have weight loss surgery, the scale is not going to move as fast as someone who has just, let's say, been someone who has eaten a large consumption of calories on a regular basis and then has had the weight loss surgery. So they've drastically cut their calories by 2,000 calories a day or something or more, and say they're not exercising. So you're just literally sitting there losing all your fat and you're losing all your muscle. When you start to gain your muscle back, that scale is going to slow down. And I really had to try and focus really hard during my journey that the scale didn't matter, the scale doesn't matter, the scale doesn't matter. And because of my past and my past eating disorders and dieting disorders, it's a challenge. It's been a challenge not to focus on that number. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say, oh, I'm over it. It's totally good now. I don't have that body dysmorphia anymore. I do. I struggle. I still want the scale to reflect less, but I knew that the way to do that was to, if I really, really wanted the scale to continue to look less, that I would have to basically never eat again, just to continue living off a liquid protein shake diet and not move. And I didn't want to be a squishy marshmallow. I wanted to be strong and feel strong. And I'm there now, even though I'm in a little bit of a bigger size than a little bit heavier than I was, years ago when I got down as small as I could from doing rounds of HCG. I was in a size 12 pants and I was probably 10 to 15 pounds lighter. So even though I'm in a size 12 again, I've been a size 12 for a while now, I'm, 10 to 15 pounds heavier than I was back then, but my measurements are smaller because I definitely feel it in my clothes and can see it in my body, and others have mentioned that when they've seen me and they haven't seen me in a while. They're like, oh, you look so great. You look like you lost more weight. No, I really haven't. I haven't lost any weight in like 6 months, but something must be happening. So that's just kind of the gist of it. Dealing with my menopausal symptoms to help me feel better. We're going to work towards getting this chronic fatigue issue addressed. And I think the hormone stuff is the right path with helping with that. And then she also suggested taking cortisol manager again. So I'm going to look into that and see if that's something that sounds and feels good for me at this time. And I am hopefully going to be able to start a GLP-1 injectable medication soon. The thing I loved about MIDI is, I mentioned the cost. I was like, this is what happened years ago. It was $1,000. I couldn't get it. She said they have that team that they will deal with the insurance and gets the insurance to verify, to put it through basically, and not cost me an arm and a leg to get this medication because, if they look at my history, I'm not someone that's just was thin and I gained 20 pounds and I want to try this trendy new medication because that's what everybody's doing. No, I am, that was the other thing. My numbers went back up. So my A1C went back up to 5.8. And I was really sad about that because my A1C was good. Now, she looked at the rest of my labs and everything. She says, your labs are really good. And, don't sweat it too much because I was disappointed in that. So I'm trying to look at the positive that even though my numbers went up a little bit, it actually may help me in getting approved for my medication. But with that said, I have a huge genetic disposition for type 2 diabetes in my family on both sides. Also heart disease and high cholesterol and all of those things runs on both sides. I've had several members of my family now have kidney failure and have to be on kidney dialysis. And it's really scary and really hard to watch them struggle with that. And it's something I have to not dwell on, but it is something that I want to be considerate about on my journey because, again, I'm an older mom of a young child. I had a lot of fertility issues. I'm so thankful for my miracle baby, but because I had her so, quote unquote, late in life, my lifespan is most likely going to be shorter than somebody that has their baby in their 20s. And I want to be here for her and not just be here like be a sack of potatoes on the bed sick. I want to be healthy. I want to be strong. I want to be able to be part of her life and be part of my grandbaby's life if she chooses to have children, all of those things. So yeah, I guess I'm just here to say I'm continuing on this whole weight management journey a little bit more. More importantly, I'm trying to handle the women's health aspect a little bit more aggressively, and I feel hopeful for the first time in a really, really long time, and it feels good. It feels good to finally feel a little bit of relief. Even if it's just a little bit, it's a good step in the right direction. So with that said, I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this rant. I'm sorry if I bounced all over the place. Let me know if you like videos like this, if you'd like to know more about what's going on my health journey as I continue with this. If you would like to hear an update with the GLP-1 situation and the hormone situation, all of those things. I thank you all so much for all of your wonderful support. Be sure to check out Colorful Crafting with Dee, my other channel. I've been having a lot of fun with that. With that said, I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day. I'm going to end this like I do with my other channel. Until we speak again, remember to take a little bit of time for yourself. Self-care is necessary. It's not selfish. Remember to be kind to yourself and always be kind to others. And have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye. Try to get close and personal here. Hello out there, all my DIY artsy crafty friends. That's the wrong channel. Whole vlogging situation. Pain in the ass situation. That's good. But then it's also remembering exactly how you sat your ass down in the seat in front of the camera. I could just do a full 45-minute video on just bloopers.